Hi guys, welcome to Lamb TV official.
I left Ghana 16th August
Mm.
2022. I got to the US.
Welcome. Today we are going to have a very informative session, a very educational session.
And
Don't think it's
entertainment
going
as
to be
well.
boring. It's going to be really entertaining.
You know the word edutainment?
Edutainment.
Education,
Right.
entertainment.
Right
together.
on. Right.
Yeah.
So our guest here today, as you can see, she's not a boring person at all. So just so you know, before we go right into it, my name is Priscilla. I'm here at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, where I'm doing masters in applied statistics and data science. I've been here for quite a while, and depending on whenever you're watching this video, I'm graduating in like 7 months, so that's like December of 24. But if you're watching this video really late, I just know probably I've graduated already or something. Yeah, so stay tuned, and you're gonna have so much fun, I promise. So over here we have our guest for today. You know the part where they put whoa. So we have our guest here for today. Her name is Alberta Araba Johnson, like the ever prettiest, ever cutest girl. She's going to tell us more about herself, and we hope you do like what we're about to do here. Stay tuned. So Alberta, tell us briefly about yourself, all the nice things you've achieved.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Like you said, my name is Alberta Araba Johnson. I go by the name AJ. I don't know how long I've gone by that name, but
Yeah.
my friends call me AJ. Yeah. Also known as Black Sherif. I don't know why. I don't know why they call me that.
It's baby Black Sherif.
That's another name too.
Yeah.
Another name too is
Coffee
Junior. Come on, Coffee Junior. That's like in high school. Yeah. So, like I said, my name is Alberta Johnson. Officially, my government name. Yeah. I just graduated from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV.
Right.
I studied applied statistics and data science. Prior to that, I went to the University of Cape Coast. I studied actuarial science from the Department of Statistics. Graduated as best graduating student in the actuarial science program. Yeah, and also worked as a teaching assistant. For my national service. Yeah. Wait, and also I worked at UTRGV as a TA in my first year and as an RA in my second year.
Wow, that's like so much experience in there, guys. As you can see, she's smart, and she's not like smart and boring like some guys we do know. We are not the ones behind the camera. Just so you know. Okay, guys. Alberta, thank you for making time to join us here today on Lamb TV official.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we are just going to ask you a few questions, and we'll try to keep it as short as we can, so that the viewers don't get bored of looking at me talk all day.
I know you can talk, so.
Yeah, I know I can talk too. So, my first question for you is like, what motivated you to pursue masters, particularly here in the United States? Like, you could have gone to the UK, you could have gone to Canada, you could have gone to. People do go to India for their masters. Like, what motivated you to study masters first of all, and particularly in the US?
Okay, so funny enough, just I think 2 days ago, I was having a conversation with someone, my friend, and he was like, when we completed high school, he came to visit me and we're sitting at our balcony, and I was telling him I'll go to UCC, I'll complete with first class, I'll get a scholarship, and I'll come to the US for my masters. Something I was saying, like, after high school, I wasn't doing UCC. So I have the text on my phone. I'm like, wow. So come to think of it, it's something that's like,
it's always been
it's been in my mind, but I didn't know how I'd go about it, but then it's just been in my mind. So for the US in particular, it's more like, once you do the actuarial science program, you have seniors who have already gone through the process, study abroad and things, so you have an idea about it.
Right.
I think in my second year, I got the inspiration to study abroad, and now
Yeah.
I have to put in the effort to prepare myself for that journey. But then it's more like, if not US, what country?
I mean, US is the best country in the entire world.
Like it's a land of opportunities.
Yeah.
Understand? And
I
I feel like there's more money here to meet as international students. So
Yeah.
it's probably one of the reasons why.
Which means you have lots of money, right?
But
Yeah.
I don't have like that, but
Yeah.
it's more like that. So it's more something that I've always wanted to do. So I'll just probably visualize, realizing my dreams, something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. I think it's a similar story for me too, but that's like a story for
You can always share, don't worry.
Today is about the cutest girl ever. Okay, so let's keep it rolling. So if you're looking to come to the United States and someone asks you, don't say that it's because I like learning so much. We know you're lying. It's because of the money. It's the land of opportunity. So don't lie to yourself. Just like she didn't lie to us. Okay, so let's go into as she said, she came to the United States because it's the land of opportunities. Let's go into her application process. Maybe you are watching and you don't know where to start from. Let's go into the whole thing and where she had to start from, what she had to do exactly. So my first question on that would be how many schools did you apply to in total? Right from the University of Cape Coast.
Okay, but before I go right into the schools that I applied to, let me tell you about how I even started the whole journey.
Yeah.
So for me, it was in my second year I had the vision. So I started preparing for my second year.
Oh.
So that is one thing about me. I started my preparation for my second year.
Wow.
I started writing my SOP my second year.
For real?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I started putting my
I was
CV
joking,
together.
guys. I was joking.
I started putting my CV together in my second year.
For real?
So by the time we graduated and we're doing our national service, I already had my documents in place. Everything. Wow. So that was people are now trying to put everything together. I already had that, because for my second year, my mentor told me that you don't have to have a complete SOP because it's second year. So you need to write maybe one paragraph. Wow. Somebody would read you get ideas, you make changes. So it was for my second year I started the whole thing. So I applied to, I think, 8 schools in total.
Wow.
Yeah. Out of the 8 schools, paid for 5 of them application fee. 3 of them were
waived.
Yeah, were waived. I used application waiver code I found online. So yeah, I applied to 8 schools. Yeah.
So if you are watching us and you're in level 100, 200, 300, don't think it's too early to start.
You can just start.
Yeah, because once you start gathering your documents and you get to national service, then it becomes quite easier for you to make the whole transition process. So it's never too early to start if you are watching. And it's never too late to start as well. Maybe you've worked for quite a number of years and you're like, is it really for me? Trust me, it's really for you. So you have to start that one as well. So which sends us to our next question. What are the key components of your application process? You write GRE, SOPs, what was the key components of all the stuff that you had to do?
Okay, so like I said, I started with my SOP in my second year. So one key component is your SOP, the statement of purpose. You need to talk about yourself, why you want to pursue a master's or a PhD program, why you want to go to this particular school, what makes you different from the other candidates as well. So you try to put everything in a 2-page statement of purpose, right? Yeah. Then now you have your CV as well. So your work experience, your educational background, if you have any research, experience, you put it on the extra curriculum activities, technical skills, all those things, you put it in your CV as well. Yes, I wrote GRA, funny enough, but then this UTRGV didn't actually require GRA. Yeah. I wrote it for some of the schools. And I got admitted not only to UTRGV, just to say, because I got Illinois State University too with funding as well. Yeah. So the GRA was actually for that school because they required it.
Illinois State as in statistics for Illinois State?
Yeah, it was Masters in Mathematics with concentration in statistics.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I had to forgo that option and come to UTRGV. So
why UTRGV though?
Okay, so for me personally, I go for what. It's not because comparing UTRGV to ISU is like up there compared to UTRGV.
Guys, she didn't say that.
No,
she didn't mean to disgrace her
no,
school.
that's like the honest truth. Whenever I tell people
at that point, yes, but
Yeah.
UTRGV is really like
It's
taking
big
strides
now.
Yeah.
But like when I tell people that I go ISU and UTRGV and I chose UTRGV, like why UTRGV? You understand? For me, it's not like the name of the school. You know, it's more about the program that I want to go and study. So then, okay, this is a backstory. I studied actuarial science, but then in my third year, I knew actuarial science wasn't for me.
Okay.
So like it wasn't. I wasn't doing one in the actuarial science program. You know, actuarial science is you do mathematics, statistics, and you do that actuarial science course itself. So looking at all the courses I've done, I was like, probably the statistics is more of what is like my part. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was looking for a program where I can do that. And when I was doing my own research into, you know, I sound too serious. I'm not that serious, guys. So when I was my third year, I was looking at like job opportunities that I can get with a master's in statistics.
Yeah.
And I came across statistician, data analyst,
biostatistics.
Yeah, those things. And I realized that okay, then I was like, okay, let me go for data science. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll become a data scientist. That was my mind then, you understand? So UTRGV, the program structure was more tilted to the data science direction because you are doing data mining, you are doing warehouse, you know, all those things. So I'm like, that is for me. Because I'm not ready to go and do mathematics and
pure statistics.
No. So that's one of the reasons why I chose UTRGV was like how the program was structured. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to apply to our program, it's really structured well to fit your needs. So you should give that a thought. Not that everyone should come to UTRGV. Just so you know, you never know. Yeah. So So our next question is, you know, whenever you are embarking on projects or anything at all, you'd face challenges. There will be ups and downs and all of that. For your school application process, like what were some of the challenges you faced during the process, during the whole visa interview? And you know, it's like in Ghana, things are quite hard for us when we are trying to transition to the US. So what were some of the challenges you faced as an individual?
Now is it objective or subjective? It's objective, right?
It's objective.
Yeah. So it's everybody and their experiences. For me, like I said, maybe because I started everything really early and I, you know, planned towards it. So it was more like, I would say it was the financial constraint, but then because I'd already planned myself
right from 2 years ahead.
So I kind of like knew how I was going to maneuver my way through.
Right.
So it was more like, with applications like this, when we started, they had now paid us our first national service.
That thing comes like 4 months later?
No, it was like we started in somewhere in October 2021.
And they paid us like in February.
Yeah, so that was when like I started putting in the applications.
Wasn't February too late?
It wasn't too late for some of the programs that I applied to, because for me, I got my transcripts in January, and most schools had their deadline. You know,
February 28th. I almost said February 31st.
You know, some of the schools already had their deadline.
It
was closed for January. So you now have to look for schools that have open to like March or February ending. So those were my targeted schools. Because now I have to look at those schools. So I started, you know, looking for schools, and when the NSS money came, one of my good friends, Rebecca, gave me her money.
Why she wasn't using her money for anything?
No, I don't. Maybe she had like extra money, but she gave me a national service money, like everything. Then I had to now pay every month.
Where's Rebecca now?
She's Marshall University, somewhere in Texas.
Oh, okay. Nice. Those who do good things.
She's doing a master's in, I think, mathematics right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she gave me everything. So now I have to pay bits. Like every month I give her like 200. You know,
everybody should get a Rebecca in their life.
Yeah, I know, right? So she gave me all the money. So that's the same money I use for my application, My uncle paid for my GRA. And I also contacted people like my friends that I knew that were already in the States. My mentor, some friends I have paid for my application fee. Funny enough, I just used I paid for, I think, 1 or 2 myself. The rest were paid by people.
Yeah. Sounds good.
For the application itself. But the whole visa thing, like my parents took care of that. Yeah.
Wow. I think most of the applications and like the whole process, one of the main challenges like everyone faces or like everyone goes through is financial constraints.
Especially like the exchange rate.
Yeah, exchange rates and everything like that. I was about to say I didn't have that, but by God's grace, you find a way to like solve the whole thing, the whole process goes through by God's grace. Yeah. And just as you said, for me to people, God sends people my way. Like God sends people my way to help. So I think one thing to consider when you're doing this is you can't do it by yourself. You need to ask for help when you should and when you can. And don't feel shy to ask for help because it's really a big process that you can't take care of by yourself. And most importantly, ask God for help. He'll bring help your way. So you need to take that into
I think you asked about the visa.
Yeah, the visa interview. Like, what was some of the challenges you faced?
Let me see. Okay, yeah, the visa. Yeah, I faced some challenge. So for my visa interview in particular, because everything was like it was like I was on I don't know how to put it, but it was like once I got my funding and everything, I need to now position myself to be able to apply for the visa and everything.
Yeah.
I got my first date on the 6th of July, no, 6th of June or July, one of them. Then the date was 8th of that month, 8th of July, right? 8th of July. I submitted my DS-160 2 days before my interview day. So when I got to the venue, I was told my DS-160 hadn't reflected. For some reasons, the lady just gave me. I joined the queue, went to the first lady who was supposed to check the document, and was like, "Yeah, it hadn't reflected." For some reason, she just gave me some document that I should come back on the 12th. So I went back to home, then came back to Accra. On the 12th for my interview itself. And on that day for the interview, I was supposed to go to this particular man that everybody was scared about.
The bald man?
Yeah, the fair one. Yeah. But it was my turn to go there, and they brought some man to join that queue. So now I wasn't going to go there. And I was told to go to the black bad man. So probably I was meant to be here. So there were so many diversions.
It was God's grace. I think most people have visa problems and people complain about it a lot. So for those of you who don't know like what DS-160 is, it's like a particular document that you're supposed to submit more than 72 hours prior to your interview date. So we're going to go into the application process and we're going to like have a conversation around that. How many schools did you apply to, or did you just apply to one and you got it? Like when I was going to Legon, I applied to just Legon and that was it. Like how many schools did you apply to?
Like when I was going to ECC, I applied to just one.
Yeah, we shared that story once.
Yeah, just ECC and I got it. But then when I was coming here, I applied to 8 schools.
Wow.
Application waiver codes, which I didn't pay for them, and I paid for 5 of them.
Wow. And that was like how much?
Approximately, let's say on the average, one school should be like $50. So the 5 of them would be like how much?
$250.
$250. But then there was one particular school that was like $95.
So that's like $300.
So it can be like $300.
So how much is $300 in cedis now? Just so you know,
then it will be like 3,000 or something.
Yeah, 4,000 cedis. So you have to count the cost before you start the whole process.
Yeah.
You can start it yourself, but if you don't have the time, you can let me start it for you at a fee, you know. Anyways, like when you're applying to these 8 schools, what are the key components that you were looking out for? Like, what did the school look out for? Is it SOP, GRE? Like, take us through the process.
Okay, so not every school have their own requirements, understand?
Yeah.
One school would require you to take GRE, one other school might not require you to take GRE. So for me, every school had their own requirements. So I tried my possible best to, meet every school's requirement I was applying to. So, for example, all of the schools require that I submitted a statement of purpose, SOP. So for me, I particularly had like one particular SOP for all the schools, but then I kind of like changed, depending on the program I was applying to, change certain things in it. CV for all schools. Some of the schools required that I submitted a GRA score, so I took GRA as well.
Transcript.
Some of the school, I think UTRGV, my current school, opted for transcript evaluation. So I did the WES transcript evaluation as well. So your SOP, your CV, your GRA, transcript evaluation, recommendation letters.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, 3 of them. But for me, it wasn't hard because the mentality that once you're a TA, you can get it easier. Yeah. So once you're a TA, you're still around your lecturers. You can just go to their office and talk to them. So since I was a TA, I was able to like talk to them and get it.
Yeah. I think it was easier for me too because I was a teaching assistant. So maybe if you're in 100, 200, 300, and you're like, oh, what would I do for national service? Especially if you want to travel, you should consider being like a teaching assistant or a research assistant in your school, in your department. That will like ease your process a little bit. Yeah. So you mentioned that you had to like write all these things, gather your documents and all. Doing that, what were some of the challenges you faced in the application process? First of all,
like the challenges I went through, right? Like you remember I said earlier on that I started my process very early, like very 200. So for me, it was more like, did I face some challenges? Yes, but it's objective. Everyone and what they experience. So one of the challenges I would say was the financial aspects of it, because you now have to convert the dollar rates to the CDs, and you have to pay for it.
It's terrible.
And by God's grace, I had people coming through for me. Like most of my schools, I had like people paying for my application fees for me, my friends, and I didn't have to pay back. So coming to the visa process as well, it's good to have a community of friends that you're all trying to achieve the same thing, the end goal. You're all going for visa interview, so you would interview yourselves. I had a group of 5 friends that we used to do that among ourselves.
I agree with you on the point where you said like you should have a group that you're doing this with. Like as I said earlier, you can't do life alone. Personally, I had like my friends that I was doing this with in the teaching assistant office at the University of Ghana statistics department. Like we gather, we ask each other questions, we tell each other like what schools we are applying to and all. I think in all we were like 18 teaching assistants, and currently like 10, 12 of us are in the US. Most of them graduated last week and this weekend and all of that.
The one mentality about Ghanaians that we have is that you don't tell people your plans and stuff like that. But this is a journey that you can't do it alone. You need people to, assist
this whole mentality of which is what score my plans, my friend who went to
But this whole journey is like, it's not for one person. You need a community to help you as well, because you might need friends who would know something that you wouldn't know, and they have to like tell you about it, and that's what helped me as well.
I agree. And not that go around broadcasting whatever schools you're applying to, but then just have a community you can trust that will help you.
Like a safe space, basically.
A safe space, basically. That's the word. Okay, so now we know about your application process, your visa interview, and all of that. Now, let's say finally you're in the US, the land of opportunity. What were some of the challenges you faced, like with regards to accommodation, life, transitioning in, like who picked you at the airport, like, she's smiling because we all know who picked her. So like what were some of the challenges you faced with accommodation? Did you have to reach out to someone? Let's start with accommodation, right? Then go on to like your master's studies. Did you face any challenges? What talk to us?
Okay, so I got to the US I left Ghana 16th August 2022. I got to the US I think 18th August. I'm missing the dates. Anyways, But then
It's just been 2 years.
yeah, I've just missing the date. But then when I got to the US, my accommodation wasn't ready.
Oh,
So I needed to find another place to spend, I think, the night or a day or two before my accommodation was ready, and I had to move in
yeah.
like 2 days after I got here.
Mhm.
And one thing I didn't know also was here, even if I think I moved in 21st or something.
Mhm.
Once you move in the first of the next month, no matter how
Yeah, even if it's 9 days,
9 days
you
you
slept
step,
in the apartment,
you have to
paying
pay
on
for the
first.
next month. So
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
So I thought I would pay like counting from when I moved in 1 month later.
It's
But I was
not
told
Ghana, my dear.
I was supposed to pay like 1st September.
Yeah.
And I didn't have money on me. So they've not even paid me my assistantship money. So I was like, I needed to now call people and ask them. You know, some people feel like you wouldn't pay, you know, it's a valid reason though.
Yeah.
But I think I spoke to my uncle who asked me to ask a friend to pay, and we're gonna like pay back. So one of my friends, Mustafa, like he sent me the money, and I made that payment, and my uncle paid him back later on. Yeah, that's one challenge I faced when I got here, and also, you know, sometimes too, you don't really know your roommates and those things, and everybody and their behavior. Sometimes you might be the neat one, and they might not. I'm not saying
Just
that
so you know, we are filming this in her room, so she has to be very cautious.
My roommates are kind of like new people, like the ones I came to meet before. No, I came to meet 2 other people before me, but these ones are new. They came to meet me here, so it's like sometimes it's not like you can't really complain when it gets messed up. You just have to like clean the place up, you know. And another thing too is like the language barrier, because here most people are Hispanics, and you don't speak Spanish, and you're trying to speak English, and they don't understand what you're saying, you know. Yes, so that challenge as well for me. What else?
I think talk of language barrier. I have an experience. I think one time we went out, I was trying to buy water. Guys,
water. Not water.
And
water.
I went to a shop and I told the woman, "Hi, can I get water?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Can I get water?" She's like, "What?" They have to call my friend Esther that, "Please, how do you people say water here?" She's like, "Oh, my friend wants water." And she's like, "Oh, water." Like, I'm like, what's the difference? Sometimes you have to form an accent, guys.
Yeah, I was telling someone, I think it was one professor that, buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
I said buffalo. She was like, huh? Buffalo? And I'm like, yeah, buffalo.
Yeah.
So I was like,
you have to leave your British Ghanaian accent at home and say like water, buffalo. You know, what else do you say? It's just a lot, guys. Just so you know. Sweater. Yeah, the weather. Yeah, just so you know. You have to start rehearsing before you get here. Else you'll be in a situation like mine. You even get water to drink. Anyways. And so aside your accommodation, now you're done with school, like throughout the 2 years, what are some of the challenges that you faced in your master's studies? What are some of the expenses that you've made? What did you do? What did you do then that you wish you could have done differently?
Should I be honest, or I should just be?
Oh, you should have to. It's like a safe space, as you said. You have to be honest.
So, one thing that I wish I did differently was not over depend.
I'm sorry. I know that's not okay. Okay.
It's not a bad thing. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. But then know that as an individual, you were already excelling before you go here. So you would also excel. Like I said, it's not one man island. You need people around you, but then don't over depend on people that without them you can't make it.
Yeah,
you understand.
Yeah.
So it's a lesson for me that I wouldn't over depend on anyone to make it look like I can't make it without people. But I feel like after a while, my journey after like during my second year is a testament for that I can make it without overly depending on someone. You understand?
That's true.
Yeah, that is one thing. It wasn't too difficult, let me put it. I don't know why. I was talking to Priska. I think when.
For those of you who don't know Priska, she's our friend.
I was talking to Priska, I think one of these days, we were going to write an exams, and she came in late, so I went to sit by and I was just then with her. Then she was like, oh, one of her results had come in. I didn't take that course. She got an A, and I was like, oh yeah, it's obvious you get an A. Then she was like, you easily get an A doesn't mean that everybody gets an A in the course. You understand? So which means that me saying that it's not difficult doesn't mean that it is not difficult. Probably my experience was not difficult. Or maybe the schools, HRGV is not like other schools. You know, they make it easier for you to, you know, get things done. It's like they understand what is going on. Like, you know, they're always there to help you, you know, office hours and things like that. So it's kind of like easier to make the grade in my point of view. So for me, academically, it was okay. I did my best, and
she got a 4.0. So please, that's why she's saying
it was okay.
Okay. And like, okay, with regards to expenses, what did you do then that you wish you would have done like earlier?
Like
how you spent your money and like.
Okay, you need to. For me, I plan. I plan. And before I receive my money, I kind of like plan and know how much I'm spending, because I pay other things. I pay for like braces, I pay for like other things. So you need to structure your finances in a way that you don't overspend too much. You know, you draw a budget for things that every month you are saving. You don't have to really save because you're a student and they're not paying you for it. It's just stipend, something small. But then you need to make sure that, oh, every month I'm saving like $200 or $100 every month. So some will go into your rent, your feeding, you know, then you put some money down for miscellaneous expenses because you might not know what would happen. Then
and if you're coming from a home where people sort of depend on you, you have to also
send money home. That is something that by God's grace I didn't really experience that money, like, oh, physical birthday, but my mom understands I'm a student, so that thing is out.
So some of us
please. That was the thing. Like, she knows I'm a student. She's always questioning me not to like be sending money to friends at home. Like, you need to save money. So once maybe you don't have that and you need to send money home, you need to be able to like you know, budget and make plans for that to as well in your finances.
Yeah, that's true. We all come from different backgrounds, but regardless, I think you should have an end goal, a financial plan, and know where you're going. Okay, so I think talk of financial plans, like, or generally, what are some of like the cultural experiences that you've experienced here in the US? You know, both the like pleasant ones, the unpleasant ones, like any particular experience that's very different from back home in Ghana?
One, language barrier. The fact that we are all speaking English and I speak and you don't understand amazes me.
Yeah, like my water.
Like, I'm speaking English and I'm asking you a question and you're like, like, you understand what I'm saying? Another one too is here, like, you know, it's full of Hispanic, so most of the people here speak Spanish. We don't speak Spanish. Sometimes you convert, like when you want to go to a restaurant, you're trying to order food, and the person, you know, coming to serve you speaks Spanish, and now you have to act like you speak Spanish and, you know, saying the words one, you know. And another thing too is like the traffic light. You need to press the button and wait for the countdown to come, then you walk. I was new to that too as well. And what else? Nobody will give you lift. Unlike Ghana, you can just say, oh.
You were getting lift in Ghana?
No, I wasn't getting lift, but something in Ghana that, like, when you're going somewhere, you can say, oh, wait till you see me, why? Can you drop me off here? Or maybe it's raining somewhere, let me drop you off here.
I think I was scared of that because of Sakawa and things.
Yeah, it's not something I used to do, but then it's something like,
it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal in Ghana, but here nobody will actually come and take their car, you understand? So these are like one of the cultural shocks. And I think the professors here too are kind of like different back home.
They're humble.
But I never said humble.
Oh no, they're humble too, but these people are like humbler, if that's a word.
Yeah, but here's like, it's like they want you to even come to them.
Yeah,
like,
they want you to excel.
Like,
it's like they want to stress you out for you to write research and they get money or they get happier.
Like,
not that I'm throwing shades to anyone, but you get.
Yeah, like they want you to come to them, like they are ready to help you. Like when I was applying for my PhD stuff, then the professor that taught me just one class, I didn't even go to them in person. I just sent them an email, and they're like always ready to help me. They're like, oh, let me know the schools that you got. You know, those like they're really excited to help you.
But some Ghanaian professors are really good in the sense that they really take an interest in your life up until the end. So I think most of my friends had good professors as supervisors when we were teaching assistants, because some of them schooled here in the US, so they understand the system that makes them humble as well.
Yeah,
so I get that.
The word humble is making me some way. I actually say they're not humble. I need to find a different word.
Oh no. I mean, like, okay, not humble per se, but you get, if you're in Ghana, you get.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think another for me, another thing that really shocks me, that's like a cultural shock, is like the use of guns and gun violence. Like, it's so easy to hear that they shot.
Here,
not here in the valley, but then, you know, news in the US, at least every weekend or something, you hear that there's gun violence, and then it makes it really hard for me as an individual and as like a black person to really get my head around it.
Sometimes you're scared to even go out because you feel like something might happen.
What if I'm the next black person they shoot? But funny for us, like, not funny for us, like, by God's grace, by God's grace, when they do hear our accents, like, I think the whole misconception about black people reduces because they know that we are pure Africans and we are not like black Americans. So there's the whole gun violence and a lot of things that are like really experiences that I hold on to. But I wouldn't trade that for something else. Like, it's been a nice experience so far.
Yeah.
Not that because of gun violence, don't come here. Nobody will shoot you, just come.
Yeah.
So I think I've run out of questions. Do you have like any questions for me? Any final words? Any final thoughts?
Okay, so I feel like this whole these are like final thoughts. I'm thinking I'm going to summarize everything.
Yep, right.
This whole journey, you can do it on your own. Somebody was asking me like some few minutes ago. I sent a message about do they need like agent or something? I'm like, bro, you can do this thing alone. It's their work, but then you yourself as a person, you can also do it alone. Like, take the pain to go through the whole process. You can do it alone. Once you have the target, you have the mindset that you want to study abroad, you want to, pursue education abroad, just put in the time, the energy. It takes time, dedication, commitment. It's not that easy. It's not that pleasant. There are times where you apply and you'll be denied, and you are thinking if God loves you and all those things. Like, for my PhD application, I will tell you, I applied to 20 schools. I got the admissions all right, about 8 admissions, but only 2 gave me funding. You understand? So it's more like sometimes it's not all rosy. You apply, getting the funding.
Don't give up too early.
Yeah. But as an international student, you should know that your life won't be as easy as a resident or a citizen.
Yeah.
So you should embrace yourself for every challenge that comes your way, and you will still do it.
Yeah. And I think for me, final words are like, if you are about to start the process, just believe in God, and whatever you believe in is fine. But just trust in something higher than you, that like God has a plan for you to bring you to wherever He wants you to be. If it's the US, UK, Canada, Ghana, you can thrive. Like, it's the blessing of the Lord that makes a man rich, and not like whatever you do. So just consider that as well. And for me, I applied in the fall as well, like 10 schools. I didn't get no funding. But just when I tried again in the spring, like, God said this was your time, and I came. Like, everything was, my application process and everything was like 1 week, 2 weeks prior to school resuming, and that's like a whole different story. So just don't give up. Even if you don't get it this year, try next year. It's hard. The money is hard. Like, things are so hard, but try, keep trying. And if your call is to enter the industry in Ghana, that's also fine. Keep trying, and like, just keep motivating yourself to do better each day.
I think we need to give them assignments to do. One assignment is create a LinkedIn profile. Create a LinkedIn profile. A lot of opportunities are on
LinkedIn. And if you do create your LinkedIn profile, you can send me a connection request at Priscilla Kisiapia and Alberta Johnson. And post really good stuff on your LinkedIn, and like, keep working on yourself, developing yourself as an individual, because over here in the US, people invest in value. So if as an individual you have no value in yourself, how would they invest in you? So I think these are the final words, like, trust in God, develop yourself and keep doing your best. And I'm sure you're going to make it regardless of the process. So, thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with us. Yes, subscribe.
You know what they say? Like,
comment, subscribe, and
yeah.
share this video. And don't go anywhere. See you next time.